Our story begins today with an exciting and lucrative offer to trade valuable spices, so let's go scambaiting. The email purports to be from someone at a pharmaceutical company. We'll look into that a bit deeper in a moment, and it says, please take your time to read properly and understand. It's a very big opportunity to reach you here. I pray you to read my business proposal very clearly with understanding. Well, good luck with that. You have come across many unsolicited messages, but trust me, this is a 100% legitimate business and has nothing to do with fraud money. It's an opportunity to supply raw materials to our pharmaceutical company, A&S Clinical Pharma Limited. So, 100% legit, nothing to do with fraud. Got it. I mean, everyone in business has to clarify this all the time, right? There is a particular raw material as major composition called saffron herb. Saffron is very fervent in cancer treatment worldwide. This saffron is being supplied to our company by two different merchants from Europe, which a sachet of 250 grams is $2,750 USD. Now, read carefully about this. The saffron herb is a rare herbal material which makes our company to pay with pro forma invoice of the merchants before they can ship the saffron to our warehouse. It's very scarce and don't grow on every other soil. I luckily got the contacts of the local farmers who grows this herb when they mistakenly inserted the receipts of the local farmers before shipping to our warehouse. I have initiated a communication line with the two farmers at my disposal and found that the retail price of the 250 gram sachet is $1,830, which means the merchants makes profit of UD $920 per sachet of saffron they supplied to our company. Meanwhile, an average order from our company bi-monthly is 10,000 sachets. You can then calculate the profit times 10,000 sachets and 12 months a year. That means they made a profit of $9,200,000 or $9,200,000 United States dollars. The direct growers of saffron sales cheaper than normal net price of it on internet, where the actually price is $11 per gram. 250 grams will be $2,750 instead. I have this information and all required details to do this business with you. I would like to present you as a merchant. You will be the middle person between the local farmer and my company. There's nothing big to perform in the business, as travel is not mandatory or even necessary, and it won't deter your present job or business. You can handle the transaction from your location too. Saffron is a natural flower herb and can be shipped by anybody without ban and restrictions. Once our company is convinced about your ability to supply the saffron, they will pay you in advance to make the supplies. All I need from you is trust. The business is 100% legitimate and risk-free, so all they need from me is trust. Cool. I mean, it will actually be trust and money, but no matter, because the business is 100% legitimate and risk-free. I said, I think you must have contacted me by mistake. I don't even know what is saffron or where to buy it. They replied with what's very likely an automatic response, which I won't read in full because it was basically the same message as before, phrased slightly differently. However, they did elaborate that the role I want you to play in this business is very simple, sir. I want you to participate in the business as the supplier. The saffron is a rare, important medicinal herb used by the company to produce expensive antiretroviral medicines for HIV and cancer patients. The herbs are very rare and scarce to find. It does not grow on American soil. Now, you might think that presenting me as the supplier, after I've already explained to the scammer that I have zero knowledge of saffron, might be a tiny bit fraudulent, but apparently not. To make this supply and earn from the profit, it is a 100% genuine business and not a contraband substance or item. And if you are okay with the modalities, I will send you the contact information of the company manager and the farmers. Kindly reply me with your ID and address for cordial communications and formalities. And all I need from you is total trust in partnership. Yeah, that's not how trust works. I said, I don't know how to do any of that. Now, what's weird about this scam is that the emails actually originate from the domain of the supposed pharmaceutical company the scammer is claiming to work for. So, could this be that thing people keep hoping for in the comments when they say, what if one time it was genuine? Well, no, it's never genuine. On further investigation, the company A&S Pharma's website is all kinds of flaky and doesn't give me the impression that it's a genuine company. For example, their products page only lists one product, named Benzyline, with a space for something descriptive but no actual description. The network distribution page says we have our central office at the Blackpool. We have the biggest market of pharmaceutical products. As a result, we, A&S Pharmaceutical, has supplied and covered 25 provinces. Their contact page says they're located in Benson Hawking Place, but Google Maps reveals that postcode to be actually Hawking Place in Blackpool Technology Park. The road is obviously named for Stephen Hawking, so who the heck is Benson Hawking? Some of the links on their site go to a different domain that doesn't exist, probably either where they lifted this content from, or maybe a domain they used for a previous scam. The only part of this whole site that I really believe is this slide from the home page. Yes, better result must indeed be achieved. Searching up this company at Companies House, it does appear to be registered, but again, something's really fishy. The financial reports don't look like that of an active company. There's very little going on, very little cash flow, despite their flashy promises about distance covered on their website. So pretty sure this company was a scam from the very start. Oh, and according to Companies House, it was dissolved last year. Anyway, back to the scam at hand. The scammer had stated, "All I need from you is total trust in partnership." And I had said, "I don't know how to do any of that." Patience already apparently wearing thin, the scammer replied, "Dear Mange Manuel, I have sent you 2 comprehensive emails about this business. It is 100% legitimate and I beg your partnership. I am also willing to have physical meetings with you if possible. Otherwise we can keep communication by telephone and emailing. Please revert to my previous messages and read to understand better. I still have more detailing and contacts on how you will get the saffron and make the supplies. I need your partnership." Well, that's fine, but I need your anger and frustration. So I replied, "How is saffron made? I tried searching for it on the internet. It looks like red string, but quite short. How does it work?" The scammer tried to explain. "I have attached what it looks like. It is a medicinal spice used medically, and most expensive, more than an ounce of gold. This is our opportunity to make these supplies to the company and to profit heavily from the trade. You don't require to travel, which means you can handle this transaction at the comfort of your office or home. I just want you to act as a middle person between the buying company and the selling local farmers. Give me your full details and copy of your ID. We need to know ourselves better, including your mobile phone number." But I said, "Is it made from gold? How is it red then? I need to understand." The scammer replied, "Saffron is a plant. It is not a gold, but is more expensive than gold. It is a food and medicinal spice. You can Google and read well about it. You can also check the importance and prices, so read and translate properly. Is a good deal." "But you can't fool me," I responded. "It doesn't look like a plant. Plants are usually green. Are you sure you know what you're talking about?" The scammer sent me a link to a Google search result for the word saffron and the explanation, "Click the Google link and read more. Is a business opportunity not known to many. So let's explore the great information and make positive, legitimate wealth from the supply." I'm actually pretty sure this deal involves negative legitimate wealth for the person at this end. But anyway, I said, "The link didn't work. But I'm confused about why you need my assistance on this matter. You appear to know all about the nature of the herb string saffron material, and still I know very little. Do I need to be involved at all in this business?" The scammer snapped back, "Let's not waste my time. Can I have your details and you can make finding of saffron yourself through Google?" I replied, "Can you answer my question?" The scammer said, "I have engaged you on constant response to all the questions, but you refuse to make research to know what is saffron. If you aren't interested, then save my time. I can easily make the millions of dollar profit with someone else. Be the right judge and do justice to it. I have explained to you that saffron is from a plant, and you told me that plant is green but saffron is red. What do you want me to call you? Moron? Please send your data and let me know who you are. Don't have time to waste." Nice. But I replied, "Why are you talking about saffron? That's not what I asked." The scammer said, "Do I need to be involved at all in this business? If you eventually read all the email messages I sent you, you should know what is your duty." So I said, "Can I understand it, please?" Attempting to proceed with the scammer wrote back, "You will practically participate as the contractor/supplier of saffron. You don't need to travel, but can handle the business from your location. The major criteria to make it achievable is by being able to follow my direction and staged processes. The only expenses we shall incur in the business is cost providing samples to the company. Leave the rest, as you will have 100% chances of winning the contract. The profit margin is massive and very rewarding." I said, "Why can't you do those things?" And in an email that sounds pretty final, the scammer said, "I have come to a conclusion that I am wasting my time. If you are sensible and reasonable, you will find the reason why I engaged you." I asked, "Can you explain it?" The scammer oddly responded, "Can you explain it?" I didn't try to explain it, but I decided it was time to throw this scammer a little bone in the form of Manuel's fake passport and asking, "Please can you now explain why I am required in this business?" There was no reply, so I asked, "Did I receive any further emails from you?" The scammer now explained the scenario for the scam. I had intention to release the information from my company procurement manager, but on a second thought, I decided to seek for your partnership to make this supply and earn from the profit. It is 100% genuine business and not a contraband substance/item. I have all information you will need to complete this business, and it won't cost us anything. Hang on, this is the same blurb as before. Apart from, I as a staff of the company cannot participate in the trade. If the company also know about my dealing without providing the information to them, I will be fired. Yeah, that sounds 100% legitimate, doesn't it? I need your mobile telephone number for cordial communication. I asked, Which company do you work for, and is it the same company I will be dealing with? Is this a formal job offer? And if so, please could you provide details of the employee benefits? I also explained, I'm afraid I can't give you my mobile number. I never speak on the phone because of the voices. The scammer replied, you are not sound mentally to handle this business. Moreover, the business shall cost about $4,000 expenses, which I don't think you have the money. So I will find a credible and capable businessman, and not you. There it is. The scammer only needs my absolute trust and $4,000. See? I said, thank you for your concern. Yes, other people have observed various things about my mental state, so it's not exactly unexpected to hear this from you. You didn't mention anything earlier about expenses. I thought this would be the kind of job where I would get paid to do it, not the other kind. Then, to try to whet the scammer's appetite just a little, I said, I would have to cash in 1 or 2 of my investments, forfeiting the long-term bonus dividends, to raise that amount. It would be possible, of course, but I'm not really sure I understand why I would. No response, so I said, please re-alitionate. Not an actual word. But that seemed like it was going to be pretty much the end of that conversation, and I was never going to find out about the red string spice plant herb. Oh well, maybe I should ask someone more helpful. We'll look at what happened next after this short break to answer one of your frequently asked questions. Today's question is, why are these scams so poorly written and implausible, and how can anyone believe them? There are a few reasons for this, and some of them are going to be really simple, such as the scammer's access to education, and whether they stuck with education or left early to take up a career in scamming, and the fact that they're communicating in English, which may not be their primary language, and that they often copy or steal their scripts, or parts of them, from one another. So that introduces lots of opportunity for error, inconsistency and the like. The perhaps more interesting reason, and there are scholarly articles to back this up, is that their apparent incompetence in writing and communication is a deliberate tactic to select victims who are not paying sufficient attention to details, and therefore most likely to be the ones to complete the scam. That is, a person who starts noticing the implausibility of the scam or the unprofessionalism of the scammer is liable to drop out of the scam midway, and for the scammer, that's wasted effort for no profit. Now, some people have summarised this by saying the scammers want to select people stupid enough to believe their story, but I personally think it's both unkind and unhelpful to generalise scam victims as just stupid, or worse, to say that some people deserve to get scammed. There are any number of factors that may impair a person's capacity to realise they're being scammed and render them vulnerable, and many of these factors are simply beyond the victim's control. Things like clinical depression, physical illness, recent emotional trauma, dementia, or any number of things, including, I suppose, basic education level. But think about that for a moment. Did you get to choose your basic education? Nobody deserves to get scammed. Blaming victims by calling them stupid is just unhelpful. I'm not saying that's not a factor, it's just not a great place to start. Anyway, back to the scam baiting. I received this email saying, I have a legit and genuine lucrative business deal to discuss with you. Can I trust you to be a sincere partner to handle the business? So I asked, I think someone contacted me before about this deal, but then they broke off communication, so I'm quite relieved to hear from you. Please confirm this is the same deal. It turned out that it was a similar deal, but with crude oil instead of saffron. The email said, thank you for your response. We found you from the web search, and we thought it will be a great opportunity for you to be involved in a contract partnership business deal with Saudi Aramco Crude Oil Company. We are Saudi Arabian petroleum and natural gas production company. I asked, oh sorry, I thought this was about the saffron deal. Do you know anything about that? The scammer was quite helpful and said, no, I don't know anything about saffron. Well, I know how that must feel, so I explained, it's like a sort of red string spice. More valuable than gold, I understand. But that was the end of the line. The scammer never replied. No matter though, I received another email saying, this is to inform you about the current economic meltdown, worldwide compensation by the UN and Economic Community of West Africa State Organization, in which you're one of them to claim this compensation value of $1.5 million US. The whole funds are already into an ATM card and registered as a package with DHL Courier Company. If you're interested in this info, please contact back with delivery information and ask them how to get your funds. I asked, please can you elaborate? I wonder what this is about. The scammer replied with a pasted-in all-purpose template saying, thanks for the question you asked. First, I want you to know that the whole funds are already into an ATM card. It is not possible to deduct or take the required fee from your fund because you and I know that the whole fund are already into an ATM card. Then there is absolutely no way to take the fee from the ATM card, as bankers made it crystal clear they'll not release the card PIN code to any person, not even me, for security reasons. The manager said they will only text the PIN code to you through phone text message after the card is delivered to you, which means you alone will be the only person to have access into your ATM card, your fund. And then a few more paragraphs waffling on about the same ATM card compensation fund fee thing that we've seen 100 times before. But I was still confused, so I asked, is this something in connection with the SAFFRON deal? I mean, it wasn't, but it never hurts to ask, right? The scammer just replied, the fee is $220. If you pay, you will receive your funds. I said, understood. But what do you know about saffron? The scammer replied, the saffron means yellow flower. Then what concern yellow flower in this matter? Do you lost your mind? Stop asking stupid questions here again. Yellow flower? I don't think so. It's more like red string. And anyway, I always respond to aggression, not with compliance, but with righteous indignation. So I said, please could I speak to someone else who will answer in a more civil manner? My question was quite reasonable, and your answer wasn't even correct. The scammer said, first of all, the question you asked wasn't concerned with what we discuss about. Just say that you're not interested. I simply told that the fee is $220. All means if you pay, you receive the funds. This transaction is not by force, so if you wanted to receive the funds, then you will have to follow the instructions. It's very clear. So I said, understood. However, you said that saffron is a yellow flower. Not only is that incorrect, it's also not useful or relevant at all. They replied, my dear friend, thank you, it's better for you to leave. There's people who are interested. Let me continue with them. So in other words, I'm busy trying to scam other people. Well, we can't have that. So I said, I don't understand. I thought you said this deal was for me. How can you be giving it to others? The scammer said, since you refused to do the necessary thing in order to claim your funds, the funds will return back to the government treasury account. I knew the instructions they'd given before notified you, and I will follow the instructions. I love this, how time and time again scammers demonstrate that they have absolutely no clue what legitimate business or government operation would look like. I said, I haven't refused to do anything. What are you even talking about now? They replied, this question is enough. Listen once again. The fee is $220. Now, if you wanted to receive the funds, ask, I will give information through to send the fee. I said, okay. Are you going to send the information? They said, I will send info where to send the $220 fee if you are ready to pay, but I can't send info if you're not ready. Send now. I replied, I already said okay. Please send the information. The scammer sent me the details of someone called Ben Dyke in the Benin Republic. Very likely his own identity, I imagine. I asked, does Ben Dyke have an email address? The scammer replied, nothing concern email address with this information. All you need to copy the information and make the payment through WorldRemit. As soon as you send it, get back to me with the payment slip. Your next email will be sent payment slip, so that the $220 will be picked up here today. I said, okay. It's just that I thought Ben Dyke might have some useful answers about the saffron deal. The scammer just resent the details and request for payment. I said, I'm confused. Are you saying this has no connection with the saffron deal? The scammer went a bit melty then and said, I think you continue asking such questions like yesterday. Go and send the fee with the information I sent you, but if you wanted to insulting yourself, then continue the question. You asked for payment information, which I already sent. Next thing is to sending the money. You asked to have the information. Believe me, if I see your email again with no payment, I can't reply it. This will be last question from you. And again, if no, you can't pay this fee and wants to wasting my time for nothing, such act will affect your generation, not only you. You will not go free without going with course. So earlier is the best for you. As I repeat, if you keep wasting my time at the end if I didn't receive this payment, nothing good will come to your life. I said, thank you for your email, which was interesting, but ultimately not relevant to the matter at hand. I do wish you could keep on topic. We will not achieve any useful outcome if you keep on losing your temper. To which the scammer replied, yes, stop contacting me because your question is unnecessary. I do not need your question rather than the payment. Like I said, if you waste my time, at the end you will go with course. So I said, you said in your previous email that if I wrote again without the payment details, you would not reply, and yet here we are. It seems to me like you have made your own special course for yourself. If you're interested in proceeding further and can assure me that you will be sensible and helpful, please let me know. Apparently, though, that was to be the end of that conversation. But wait, the original saffron scammer had come back saying, this is a contract which I will like you to handle. The contract is to supply saffron to our company here. I have tactically explained all these steps to you on my previous email. Now you have read and know all the means and why I involved you. When you get the contract and make the supplies, through the payment you receive from the company, we will share this profit, 60% for you and 40% for me. All you need now is contact my procurement manager on the contact I will send to you, so that he will recognise you as supplier. Then you can provide samples to enable him approves your contract. But I was still confused, so I asked, this is for the red spice string plant herb, yes? The scammer said, yes, I have attached the saffron again. Check it. I said, it looks like red string. And I had an idea. What about if we got some red string and cut it into short lengths? Wouldn't that be the same as this, but very much cheaper to make? The scammer said, "Don't be a fool. Make use of your senses. That is called saffron and is the business I am offering you to supply. I don't have time to joke here." I replied, "Okay. Can I please be told what is now happening and what's to happen nextly, and also thirdly, and what will happen later and finally?" The scammer replied, "You will need to send $3,600 to me to purchase the saffrons. Send money." I said, "Okay. This raises a plethora of questions. Firstly, how do I pay? Nextly, what happens after I pay? Closely, why did the amount change from 4,000 to 3,600? Is the red string spice herb different in some way? Shorter, perhaps? Finally, does the money need to be beholgrated in any way?" The scammer said, "Make the payment through Western Union to my UK information. The real amount is $3,600 but I raise approximately $4,000 including logistics. The saffron is a medical spice and not just a red spring. Send the money to this below information." And the scammer gave me the details of the recipient, supposedly in Manchester. Now, Western Union transfers are country-specific, so I think I'm right in saying that this indicates either that the scammer really is here in the UK, or at least has someone here working for them, available to pick up the money. I replied, "I just realised you're in Manchester too? Why don't I just meet you to discuss this and make the payment?" The scammer replied, "Are you in Manchester too? Where are you presently? Please make the payment today. Send $3,600 in total." I said, "Oldham. Should we meet in the city tomorrow to wrap this up?" Of course, I had no intention of meeting anyone, and I'm not in Manchester, but I thought maybe we could get the scammer to wait in some place where there's a public webcam. However, the scammer said, "I'm a very busy type. You can make the payment today. We can meet after procuring samples in your city." So that's right, the scammer, supposedly in Manchester, referred to Oldham, a town 7 miles away, as your city. Right. I said, "I don't think the red string spice is sold here in Oldham. I've never seen it around here, and certainly not in the quantities you're describing. That would surely be quite easy to see, would it not? You still have left a glemule of unanswered questions." No reply, so I left it a couple of days and wrote, "I had trouble sending the money online, as it kept asking me for your bank details, so I went to Western Union and Ryman's in town after taking breakfast at a lovely little cafe. I'm happy to report that the money is transferred now. Please let me know as soon as you receive it, and when we can meet to arrange next steps." You'll note the conspicuous absence of a money transfer control number. The scammer said, "Send me the payment slip for the Western Union." I casually replied, "I'm not sure I kept it. Paper receipts are just clutter." The scammer responded, "Send the payment slip. I'm not sure you sent any money." I said, "I told you I sent the money after breakfast." The scammer was not amused and replied, "Don't joke with me." I just played innocent and wrote back, "I don't understand what you mean. Please confirm as soon as you've collected the payment and we can proceed with the red string spice business." The scammer, getting agitated no doubt at the tantalising proximity of profit, replied, "Send the piece of paper the Western Union gave you when you sent the money. The information therein contains the tracking number for the transaction. Also, give me your phone number. Don't joke." I said, "As I told you earlier, I don't keep paper receipts. They're just clutter to me. My house would be just full of paper if I kept every little thing." The scammer, clearly now a little angry, said, "Like I told you too, go back to the Western Union and bring the papers. Don't reply to this message if you don't come with the receipt. Joke on." Now, with most of my scammers, I normally keep going until they rage and then dump me, but this time I decided to take the upper hand and be the one to do the dumping. So in a final email to the scammer, I wrote, "I don't think I wish to do business with someone who's as rude and demanding as you. I'm going back to Western Union in the morning. I'll recall the money and invest it in a different venture, such as the kind offer I received from Saudi Aramco last week. I wish you luck in your enterprise. However, I don't actually think there's a bright future for profit in this saffron thing. I'm no Benson Hawking, but to me it just looks like red string." So I hope that was a bit of fun. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.